whatever it takes. You mentioned that a lot. You talked about anyone and everyone. We saw that in the power rotation. How satisfying was it to get so much from so many at a time when it was all needed?
Yeah, this is truly a collective team win. Tonight, Indiana had been playing really well. They've had some tough losses, going down the stretch, and this historically is always a tough place for the Miami Heat to try to get a win. And we knew we were going to have a lot of guys contributing and putting their fingerprints on this game, and that's what you saw. Kyle and Duncan really set the tone at the beginning of the game, got us going. But then those key situational minutes, it started with UD. Gabe and Caleb were terrific, particularly defensively. And then Omer was very good in the second half. And from our perspective, it's always nice to see, young players that have been putting in the time. Nobody ever gets to see it. It's always behind the scenes. But I know how hard these young guys have been working to prepare for these moments. They always have it echoing in their ears, what UD says. You have to prepare to be ready, and then you have to stay ready so you are ready when your number is called. And that's what you saw tonight. Those were all important minutes, and they all contributed to the win.
How heartening was it to see the first two go through for Duncan, that, okay, that's out of the way. Now you can sort of play your game.
Look, 82 game seasons are long. They can get noisy. All the storylines and, the ups and downs of everybody's emotions about different things. At the end of the day, at the end of the season, Duncan's shooting percentage will be, right where it is. But when you're in it, in the storm, everybody tends to overreact to it. He has a responsibility, to us and to our offense. And he's been generating really good triggers for us. And he has to stay with that because we're getting good things out of that. And then eventually, you'll see nights like tonight where, of course, the ball's going to go. He's puts way too much time in for it not to happen. But on the nights where it's not 4 for 7, he still creates great offense for us. And the gravity that he creates for our offense is always really helpful.
And then that crazy late play where it was clear you were probably going to challenge at some point. PJ maybe let the emotions get the best of him. The explanation we got was you can come on the court if you challenge, but you can't come on the court and then challenge. What was explained to you, and sort of how did that happen that you went in with two technical fouls on a play that clearly was going to be a challenge?
Yeah. James was just reading it by the letter of the law, and I get it. That's a tough call. I'm going to be calling Byron though tomorrow. I want my money back on that. It was just one of those situations where everybody's wondering what's going on. It is a timeout. I was challenging it. It's on the far end. I've also been on the other end of that where you can't get officials' attentions, but this was. I don't know. It seemed like common sense that everybody was just kind of converging to half court.
And then last one from me, Omer's play. You had mentioned it briefly also, but in Summer League, he was one thing. He was a high usage player. It was all about him. Here was contributing. Just your thoughts on how he fit. He seemed like he fit right in the zone. And usually when you don't play a lot of it with other guys, it might be a little difficult. Your thought on how he maybe made the zone for you guys at the end also.
Yeah, he's been fully immersed into the Miami Heat development program. And that's what I'm talking about. Nobody gets to see that. So you don't get to see a young player's progress. Our staff has seen it. The players have seen it. And it's tough, sometimes for a young player in this league on a team that has high aspirations to prepare, to earn the trust of veteran players, earn the trust of a staff. And the best way to do that is just to always be in there working and letting everybody know that you're preparing, for those moments. And that's what he's been doing. And you can see his skill set. It is unique. He has great touch. He has a great feel around the basket, and he's big. He gives us another big, along with Dwayne, which obviously now is really important with Bam being out.
And to build off of that last game, it was PJ Tucker and KJ Apollo going a little bit smaller with the 5 when Dwayne wasn't in there. Today, UD to start, and then Omier stepping in there. What went into the switch? Was it matchup based? So how did you go through with that?
Those two guys are very big. I mean, Sabonis is as physical as anybody in the league. Turner is 7'9". I mean, he's big. So that's not an indictment at all on KZ. KZ could very well, have those kind of minutes, tomorrow night. And that's where we are right now. When you have Jimmy and Bam and Markieff out, it's going to have to be a collective effort, and could be different guys based on matchup or context of the game.
And then the third quarter, they cut the lead to 3 twice. Tyler immediately hits a 3 to get you guys back up. The second one, starting your big run beyond the third quarter, just him finding the moment again.
Yeah, you have to expect that in this league nowadays. Teams are going to come back, and they showed some urgency, and what I liked in those moments of truth, those swing moments during the course of the game, we were much more intentional and less random, so that we could get the ball where it needed to go, and then you live with the results. And Tyler is one of our best playmakers, facilitators, attackers, scorers, and we're able to get the ball to him and let him do his thing in those moments.
Hey, Maddox, you can take one via Zoom. Go ahead.
We'll start with Cooper Moorhead, Heat.com. Go ahead.
Yes, well, you guys hadn't seen the blitz much since the last time you were in Indiana, and I guess you could see the theory behind how much they use it tonight with the playmakers that you had out. How did you think the guys on the court handled that kind of coverage that you don't see very often? Yeah,
I think it was good, and there were some where they won some possessions. I think all these experiences are really good. We came out of this Indiana game, whenever that was 5 weeks ago, anticipating that more teams would start to blitz Tyler, and most teams have. They were blitzing basically everybody in the second half, and I think that's good for us to see these different coverages and grow and learn from them.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.